Hello my lovelies, thank you so much for being here today. Welcome to my channel. I'm Marie-Louise and today I have gone for a Mint Choc Flick and Spin Bloom. I had so much fun creating this today and the colours just reminded me of Mint Choc all the way through. What do you think? So I'd been playing with a few canvases today and I'd already got the base layer down. So I'm getting rid of the air bubbles and I'm just about to lay down the different paints. So stay with me on this journey while we create the bloom, then a spin, a flick and spin and a tilt. I'm so excited to see how this turned out and to show you. Yes, this one was abstract cobalt green and titanium white. And then I went on to use one of my favourites, which gives such a lovely sheen at the end, metallic green by Pebeo. So I'm pulling the puddles here and I've just got just enough paint underneath the pillow paint, the base paint. It's more of a base paint, this one, which is spread quite thinly, but enough so that the bloom can flow into it. So then I've got the iridescent gold, as you just saw, and the titanium white. Now I'm just spreading enough paint in these little puddles, just so they blend really nicely. And I want a tiny little bit of cell activator there. And I'm not sure how this is going to turn out because it's Amsterdam oxide black, which acts as a cell activator. But I've also got some metallic brown in there. So it's mostly the brown and only a tiny bit of the black. So it'll be interesting to see how the cells spread. I do like delicate cells. I like little cells that add and pop up. And so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. So using the hairdryer, I'm blowing from the cell activator or from the centre of the bloom. And I'm going for 3 different blowouts initially on each of these puddles, 3 different directions. Doing as best you can to get that angle to blow out from the dark. And then the last one, can you see the cells popping up? These are delicate cells that I really do love. It's interesting how by just a combination of paints, pressure from the blowing technique and temperature all creates like a mini imitation of nature. So I'm just trying to change the composition so there's enough dark and light in different places. And I'm going to give it a bit of a spin just to spread out the paint a little bit more, help it to move a bit more on the canvas. I can feel a bit of a connection going on. So what I'm going to do in a minute after this spin is do one more blowout, I think, in the middle. So I'm going to layer the paint again. The same sort of colours, so I'm going to use the metallic green and then the iridescent gold on top and Amsterdam white. And then next is going to come the flick and spin. But I'm just going to see how this blowout happens. See what cells pop up here. So my trusty hairdryer, blowing out from the centre. Trying not to go over any of the cells that I really like at the same time. It's just blowing into each other and just creating a bit more connection with a darker colour. I didn't actually use my palette knife today, which is unusual, but looking at it afterwards I thought, oh, I could have used the palette knife to connect. And that's something to do for next time. So I'm really interested to know how this turns out today. So nice spin, let the paint spread a bit more, because one of the things you don't want to do is just leave a lot of paint in the middle of a canvas. It tends to cause cracking and creasing. So now comes the flick and spin. I always get excited with the flick and spin. You never know how it's going to turn out. So this is a bit where I thought, have I added something to it? What is happening with this painting? And how is it going to turn out? But it was a real experiment, and I had so much fun creating this today. So let's see, one more little bit of metallic brown and some mix of black, and I'm going to flick and turn it a bit. Flick. Can you see where the bits of paint have landed? Now that was interesting at the end because I could have done with a bit more dark, I think, there to spread across the painting. But we'll see. Let's see how you feel about it, what you think, and what you see in it as well. Had some real reactions to this. Some people love it, and some people go, not sure. And other people have said, oh, this reminds me of Mint and Choc. That's why I thought I'd name it Mint Choc. It's lovely knowing what other people think about it, because we've all got such different interpretations, haven't we? So you can see the cells spreading out now, and I'm really loving it. I used some satin enamel in a past painting, and I wonder whether any of that got into the white titanium, because these paints have been sat there for a week or two, and I've been using quite a lot of satin enamel recently. The reason why I say that is if you look in the centre, you can see like a blending, almost a boulder forming, and that tends to be what the satin enamel does. So here's a bit of a close-up as I finish the painting. I'm just giving it a bit of a tilt just to make sure that there's no excess paint and to stretch those cells a little bit further. So it's just running off the edge now. And this is the point at which I really liked that part of the canvas. And then as I stretched it, the paints were very, very slightly thicker than I usually use, and I think that's what helped the cells to form. But as I was tilting, something happened to the other cells on the other side. So I'd love to know what you think about the cells, because they are there, but I think I squashed them a little bit by tilting. I think actually spinning would have been better. So I'd love to know your feedback. And also I'm just learning with this technique. It's all very new to me. So I've heard people mention things here and there. But I just sort of experimenting completely with the bloom. I've done blooms before on their own, but bloom and spin, can spin and tilt, I think I did go overboard, and it's not something I'd repeat in that all together at the same time. But I'd love to know what you think about it, because it's quite an interesting piece and I'm quite happy with it. And I definitely want to try the flick and spin again, and I know I've got one coming up in a month or two. So what do you think now of the finished version? Just getting rid of all the air bubbles, and it's got a really sort of rich minty and chocolatey sort of flavour to it. Not that I can keep away from chocolate. So all air bubbles gone now. Let's have a look at the dried result. I just want to say we always are hard on ourselves, aren't we, as artists and creators. I just want to say thank you so much for being here, and I really appreciate your comments, your feedback and your support. Subscribe if you haven't already. I appreciate you being here on this art journey, and I wouldn't change a thing about the people in the community we have. So whatever you're creating today, I hope you have a wonderful time with it. Thank you so much for being here, and enjoy. Hope to see you soon. Bye.